We're coming up on the biggest shopping week of the year, and some brands are just finishing up their new releases for the holiday season, and they're starting to run some great sales. So while I always put out a definitive boot buying Black Friday video every single year, I'll still clue you in on what I find before then, but make sure you hit subscribe so you get a notification for that Black Friday video. I usually put it out Friday morning around like 7 a.m. Eastern, so if you're interested in great boot deals, you definitely want to see that. Also, at the end, I'm going to share a few of the things I actually picked up this week, since I occasionally buy stuff, and you may or may not find that interesting. First up, White's just released a new style this past week. They're calling it the Springdale boot. It's a plain sprung toe boot with a Vibram Christie wedge sole, and it's available in all of the standard Seidel double shot leather options that White's normally offers. This is another addition in White's growing Goodyear welted category, which runs just under $400. Honestly, I really like the fact that White's is growing that line, as they're definitely helping to get the great P&W boots out there into the world in greater numbers. Though I will say nothing quite hits like the P&W stitch down construction that you normally see. It looks like White's has got a lot of stock right now, both in D and double E widths with no wait time. So if you want a White's boot, pretty much off the shelf, I think they have most sizes available. Thursday, Boot Company also released 3 new limited edition two-tone Captain boots. The most interesting of these, in my personal opinion, is the Timber Waxed Canvas colorway. It features 18-ounce Hallie Stevenson's olive wax canvas uppers, and Thursday's Cocoa leather heel counter and toe cap. That was kind of hard to say. Thursday also has 2 other versions of this two-tone look as well, but both they're entirely in leather. Personally, I like the wax canvas one more because it's going to make a really unique boot over time. I'm not a huge fan of the 2 leather mix and match options, but I think it's a really great sign for what's to come from Thursday in the upcoming year. So earlier this year, Thursday announced that they kind of made their own factory, and so they're able to make a lot more limited editions. So while this one is not necessarily grabbing me, I think the idea is really exciting that we're going to be seeing more limited editions from Thursday consistently throughout the year from the brand, not just this one time, but they're going to be able to do that a lot more because now they have their own factory, and that's awesome. Beyond that, Thursday also released a collection of 6 different weekender bags. 3 are available in Thursday's most popular leathers, and 3 are available in that same Hallie Stevenson's wax canvas. Between you and I, you gotta go leather all day. Also, I wanna give you a heads up on my boot sock brand, Camel City Mill. We make premium merino wool socks for boots, and we're running our early bird Black Friday sale right now for just a few more days before we do like the real Black Friday sale. If you haven't gotten Camel City Mill socks yet, this is your chance to get some for up to 40% off. The deal is you get 20% off of 3 pairs, 30% off of 5, or 40% off of 10 or more pairs. And with any of those bundles of socks, you get those shipped for free within 24 hours. Camel City Mill, we have a 4.9 star average rating with over 150 reviews, and I designed these socks, this is the lightweight and the heavyweight, to maximize comfort and durability with high quality boots. We're gonna run this deal on Black Friday weekend also, but we're already sort of stressing the system of our shipping over there. It's over in that corner. We're getting so much volume, and this week is probably the last time I can still guarantee shipping within 24 hours. So in addition to that, I don't think we made enough heavyweight socks, so these might not even make it to Black Friday weekend. We should still have the lightweights in stock if you want to wait till Black Friday, but the best way to make sure you're gonna get any of these and get them shipped within 24 hours is to jump on that early bird Black Friday sale. Again, it's the same sale, but you just get it now instead of in a week. If you're interested in that, that's the first link in the description down below. That's gonna get you up to 40% off Camel City Mill socks. Speaking of deals, Truman is running their seconds and sample sales right now. I don't think Truman runs any sort of Black Friday sale or anything like that, so this is basically it. When I looked through, there were some really cool looking boots in a lot of different sizes, a lot of different leathers, and they're still available at a solid discount. If you want a deal on Truman's, now's a good time. Plus, there are some one-of-a-kind boots and some shoes in there too that might never be made again. I think I even saw a woman's boot in there too, so you pick something up for the lady. Viberg is releasing the Outsider boot, which is a Chelsea boot built in collaboration with David Coggins, the men's fashion and fly fishing writer, not David Goggins. My first thought was that Viberg was collaborating with David Goggins, which would be hilarious, and I would absolutely buy that. I'd buy 10. Can you imagine what a Viberg and David Goggins boot would even look like? I don't mean to gloss over David Coggins, but I'm just so excited at the idea of a David Goggins boot. I think the first boot brand to pull that off, they officially win. They win the whole boot game. Like the leather would be 5mm thick, like this thick. The sole is just made out of cinder blocks. The steel shank is just a prison shank. I could definitely see it right now. Anyway, the Viberg and David Coggins collab boot is at some sort of adventure-ready Chelsea with the wax leather. I'm shooting this before the boot is actually released, so I don't have full details on it. And honestly, after thinking about a David Goggins boot, my dopamine levels, they're too high. I'll never return back to anything that actually makes any sense. Street Bootmakers just restocked all sizes for their shearling, house mock slipper. Normally, I wouldn't cover this, but this is the kind of thing you definitely want when chilling in the house during the holidays. Just look at this thing. Can you even imagine how comfortable you'd look sitting in front of a fireplace wearing these things? I'll say this, David Goggins would hate that. Taylor Stitch released a few new colors in their Ledge heavyweight flannel collection. The new colors are Coal and Cardinal, which are solid colors rather than your regular plaid flannel options, so something just very plain and simple. It's made with a burly 8-ounce cotton fabric, and I'm really digging how much texture there is on this shirt. It looks super comfortable too. T-Stitch also released their Miller shirt jacket, which is basically a lightweight jacket with a quilted pattern. It's got a nylon shell with polyester filling, so it's definitely going to be warm and weather resistant. However, I'm not really crazy about how nylon stuff looks. It's cool if you're going for that like techie style. I just like the look of more natural fibers like denim, canvas, leather. That said, this is probably the kind of thing that keeps you really, really warm without adding a ton of weight or bulk. So it's really comfortable, which technical fabrics are good at. But I just like natural fabrics, and even if they're less efficient and more uncomfortable, they just look cooler. You gotta do it. Huckberry just dropped the Flint and Tinder quilted wax shirt jacket and a vest in a flame orange color, which is certainly a great way to grab someone's attention. I think the vest is pretty cool looking. It's a lot to do a full shirt with that, unless you're going out in hunting season, in which case, yeah, you probably want that. Ironheart released a 12-ounce whipcord type 3 jacket in olive drab that looks pretty slick. They also just put out their quilt-lined M65 jackets, both in black and olive. To me, the type 3 jacket definitely catches my eye more, but if I ever get anything from Ironheart, I think the first thing I'm gonna get is gonna be their heavy denim Western shirt. That thing is sweet. It is expensive, but it is sweet. I actually picked up 3 things this week, which is pretty rare. I don't normally buy stuff, but I'm just at the beginning stages of testing out some Indonesian bootmakers, you know, for some articles and videos down the road. I saw a great deal on a pair of Junkered boots in my size, so I picked those up. They should be getting here this week in a couple days. I also went ahead and I put in an order for a pair of Bristle Black Engineers, so I should get those in about 6 months. That's Benzene Bristle Black, same company. They changed their name, so those should be coming, I don't know, 5-6 months. I hope they get here sooner than later because I'm super stoked about those. And then lastly, there's a local shop where I live called Fancy Groceries in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. They do really high-end men's clothing. They were having a sample sale, and I picked up a retro-looking button-down shirt from Taylor Stitch. It both looks and feels super great, so it's probably my favorite thing I've gotten from Taylor Stitch so far. I'll be back next week with another set of new releases from the best boot and clothing brands. Again, please hit the subscribe button because Black Friday, I do that Black Friday roundup. It's gonna save you so much time, and it's definitely the best way to make sure you see all the best deals from your favorite brands right away, since I put it out so early in the morning. Like literally, I wake up at 3 a.m. to collate all the info, and it's actually become kind of a fun tradition. I eat a ton of turkey and mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving, and then I take like a 3-hour nap overnight from, 11 to 2 or whatever, and then I wake up super early, I get all the deals together, shoot a video, put it out in the world, and then take another nap. I'll see you next week. Until then, put your best boot forward.